Welcome everybody to the Firehouse. We're going to be going over the top 5 motorcycle crashes of March 2020, and we're actually going to be doing 4 crashes and 1 close call, and they're all going to involve an intersection. Intersections are extremely dangerous for motorcyclists, just like curves, but we're going to hyper focus on this and figure out what happened in some of these motorcycle crashes and a close call so that we don't do it for ourselves. But welcome to the Firehouse. This is the place that I'm quarantined in, so let's go have a little bit of fun, and I'll show you a little bit more of this place later. So this first call, we have a multitude of factors. What I personally like to do is take a quick scene survey and take a look at this still image right here. So right away, I can tell that it's super dark out, okay? We have a little bit of light everywhere, and we just can't see. Good thing he's got a clear visor so he can see as best as he possibly can while giving himself some good eye protection. But that's not going to be the biggest threat here. What we're going to have is when we're moving up, he's going to do a head check, kind of blinded. Remember, your eyes are super dilated, get constricted when you see something like this. But I like that he's doing head checks, so that's really good. The thing is, he's not doing a head check for every single intersection involved. He did one for back there. We have one coming up here where cars are going to merge. Cars merging into your lane or next to you with an added lane are still dangerous. I never trust anybody next to me. I'm always going to keep a space cushion around me, and that's what you guys should be doing, okay? So right here, this is where it starts to happen. You see multiple vehicles right here. You see one vehicle right here with brake lights. Immediately go into orange stage. If you don't know what orange stage is, it was in the classroom, but I'll go ahead and pop it up right here on the bottom right of your screen. Orange stage is when you're completely zoned in, you found something that is going to be a threat, and you're going to activate either red stage and hopefully never brown stage where you poop yourself because you're not paying attention, you're absolutely panicked. So what we're going to be doing is being hyper-focused on these 2 threats and then the brake lights. That's going to be the immediate concern for us as motorcycle riders. I'm not concerned about body position. I'm not concerned about how good I look on this motorcycle with my full personal protective equipment. Main thing I'm focused here now is just what's going to happen in front of my path of travel that I have to maybe do some type of evasive maneuver. So we're going to move forward a little bit. Now, this threat went out of the way. It's done. It's still moving. It's functioning. But now I still got this other threat here. So now my hyper-focus is on this, and I'm getting ready to go into red stage. So since I'm in orange stage, I'm covering those brakes, I'm covering that clutch lever, and I'm getting ready to either swerve or do some type of emergency braking and get out of the way of whatever dangers that are happening, okay? So we're going to keep going, we're not going to pay attention, and that's going to be the biggest problem here. So as me, I said I would be in orange stage, but more than likely this rider is going to be in yellow stage and then just made a mistake and not jumped into orange stage being hyper alert because he did not see these threats. So this is where we need to scan and find these typical things. Now, when I say typical, I mean uncommon in a common situation. So this intersection is a very common situation. Your car is merging everything. But what's uncommon in this situation? We have this vehicle not slowing down or stopping like that white vehicle. That right there is going to be the uncommon thing, and that's what you need to pick out, and that's what's going to get you, is that the common stuff of people stopping and doing what they're supposed to be doing within their lanes, within the laws, within everything. That's very common. If somebody's not doing it, it's something that picks up out of your peripheral vision, especially right here. This should be picking up out of your peripheral vision. This guy's not stopping. So now at this point, let's say we go into red stage and we have to do some type of braking or evasive maneuver. Well, here's the thing. We already have a path of travel that we could possibly follow and then just make the next exit if we have to. So if I see this in the corner of my eye, I'm going to do a quick look because you need to use your focal vision and look at what's happening. Okay, this guy's going to be in my path of travel. I'm not going to be able to do anything. So with that information, what I need to understand is that I don't need to brake. I just need to swerve a little bit to the right and just keep going down this road. And then I'll just kind of get myself back together and find myself where I need to be and get to where I need to go. So right there, that's going to be what I'm going to be doing. But if we scroll back just a little bit, once again, I want you guys to understand all the multiple factors that involved in this crash. Okay, it's nighttime. So limited visibility for me, but not just for me, it's going to be for this car driver also. Also, this car driver might not be doing a good situational awareness, just like how this rider didn't do good situational awareness on top of that. So now we have 2 people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and then they're going to come into a collision. Physics, everything, it doesn't matter if you're paying attention or not, it's going to happen. So it's our job to pay attention and zone in, not zone out, and then go into orange stage around intersections. Intersections are an immediate default orange stage, no matter what. Same thing with curves, because that is where it's been statistically dangerous for motorcyclists. So in this situation, orange stage, be prepared, look around, be kind of paranoid in this area, and then go back to yellow stage where you're not paranoid, but you're still zoned in, paying attention. Hey, intersection's coming up, we're going to do it. So guys, make make sure you do what you need to do to stay safe. Don't go into the path of travel of other vehicles, and make sure you're hyper focused on what an intersection could be, a deadly situation. So this right here is what you call a suicide gap. Now, this is when a vehicle is going to allow somebody to cross their path of travel and get out of an intersection, like a parking lot or a driveway or something like that. So that's going to be somebody being nice, allowing somebody to come out. But it does present some hazards for anybody that is still moving within the flow of traffic, like this motorcycle rider. It's going to be happening for car drivers all the time, all that stuff. But there are telltale signs of what could be happening. Now, always intersections orange stage. It's as simple as that. But when I look at this scene right here, what I see is a bunch of vehicles stopped, and then I am in a good flow of traffic. There's nobody in front of me. Now, right away, I'd be in orange stage just for this, because I would assume that one of these vehicles wants to get in my lane, which is going to cause a path of travel violation. And that's going to cause me to either have to swerve or brake or whatever that is that I have to do to get out of that situation. So that right there, I'm already in orange stage. But when I see that we have signs like this and we have vehicles creating a gap, they're not come together, they're not, bumper to bumper, and I see a gap, that to me tells me that they're either allowing somebody to go through, or they're opening up an opportunity for somebody that could go through. So either way, orange stage, and I'm going to be off in lane position 1 in this situation, not 2 or 3, just so I can have the best line of sight on top of having the biggest space cushion. Guys, remember, you need to jockey back and forth if you possibly have to get the best vision on top of the best escape route and space cushion. So constantly be moving lane positions if you absolutely have to. So we're going to move forward just a little bit, and almost immediately you can kind of see it. So there's the intersection right there. You can kind of see the roadway right there. Okay, nobody's coming out. Perfect. No, oh, there it is. So as soon as you see anything that looks different, so if we scroll back right here, in between these two vehicles, all you see is grass. You can keep going, you can keep looking, you keep seeing further. But then when we scroll forward to this part, you don't see grass in between the Jeep and that white vehicle. You see another vehicle. So that is what I'm looking through. I'm looking through these small little gaps. There's a gap there. There's a gap there. Oh, I see something. I don't see grass anymore. What is that? That's that uncommon thing in a common situation. So since I would be in lane position 1, I'm kind of looking at it and be like, what are you doing? So now I'm going to either apply some brakes or roll off the throttle. I went immediately into red stage from that orange stage, roll throttle, apply the brakes just to slow down enough to kind of give myself a little more options. Now I'm slowing down right here. The car is not in my path of travel yet, but it's going to allow me to make a decision if I start to see it go out. So if it starts to go out like this, now I can either apply more brake pressure because I've already started to put more weight to that front tire if I had to, and I could stop almost on a dime. Now, it's something you practice when you do your braking skills, your progressive braking skills. Or you could slow down just enough to where this vehicle, if we slow down, it could be almost all the way out of my lane by now because I slowed down, and I can swerve to the right and then continue going. You really don't want to swerve in front of the vehicle because typically they're already in drive. So what are their two options? Either applying the brakes or applying the gas. I don't want to take a 50-50 chance. They're not thinking I got to put it in park and then move it in reverse and then back out in a split second. They're going to do what they need to do. So I personally don't like to swerve in front of vehicles. I'll swerve behind the vehicles or apply the brakes. But if I absolutely have to, I would swerve to the left and possibly get an angular incident just like this, because I would rather do that than have a T-bone accident. But at the end of the day, you need to be hyper aware and hyper focused on the signs and symptoms, basically, of these vehicles. Now, if you're a medical personnel, you probably knew what I'm talking about right there. So when you see something like this, when you see a long line like this is the biggest thing here, is that you need to be in orange stage, because one of these vehicles could just merge into your lane if they really wanted to. I understand it's a left turn only lane, but who knows? Maybe somebody's so upset, they're like, screw it, I'm going to go through the neighborhood and get around all this stuff. So as soon as you see this, definite orange stage, get ready for them to merge in your lane. If you have to swerve, apply the brakes, all that stuff, perfectly fine. But then also for suicide gap type things where vehicles are going to come into your lane because other vehicles are allowing them, look through these little gaps right here. So I see grass, I see the scenery, I see everything I'm supposed to see. Nothing's blocking that view. Now something's blocking that view. I don't care if it's a big truck. I don't care if it's a kid. I don't care if it's a squirrel. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter, because it's going to possibly be in my path of travel, uncommon thing in a common situation, and I'm going to prepare for it. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to apply a little bit of brake pressure so I can get some weight to the front tire. Not a lot to where I'm stopping, but it's going to buy me some time and get some traction ready for me if I have to apply the brakes. And then if nothing happens and they just kind of stop there, I just kind of release the brakes. I roll on the throttle a little bit and go on with my day. So this one's pretty interesting because we have a rear view of this, and it's going to be an intersection. The guy crashed into this vehicle. Very common and very typical of what a motorcycle crash is with another vehicle. But before we do that, I need to go ahead and talk to the crew in the new lounge that they're getting. And I want you guys to understand, what is the crew? Well, the crew is really you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. It's YouTube, it's Patreon, all those different things. If you click that join button, or if you go to patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman, you become part of the crew. Now, this is part of the crew lounge right here, but we have a whole bunch of other perks, a bunch of specialties out there for all my smart riders. Now, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support the Firehouse here, be sure to join and become a crew member. It really helps out, and you get a lot of cool things. But let's go back to the video and figure out what is going on. This is the third video, guys. You should understand by now, orange stage before going to intersection. So orange stage before going to intersection, this person was not paying attention, not orange staging at all, and then crashed the bike because a vehicle came out of nowhere. Now, I know a lot of you guys in the comments will be like, well, that wasn't really a crash with another vehicle. Well, you're absolutely 100% right. This was a braking problem caused by a panic because of an intersection. Now, why do people panic? They panic because something surprises them. And that's the common thing right there. So our goal is to be situationally aware. Remember, a smart rider, we need to seek out and recognize hazardous situations. Once again, intersections are hazardous situations. So coming up to this, we should not be surprised of a vehicle maybe getting on our path of travel. So since we're not surprised, we're not going to go into brown stage. We're going to go into red stage and utilize good physical fundamental skills. Remember, that's part of the Smart Rider system. So we're going to move forward just a little bit. And why did he dump the bike right there? Why? No vehicle, nothing. He dumped the bike right there. It's because of that brake pressure, guys. So not only are intersections are deadly because of path of travel violations, but it's going to make us panic and make us do bad fundamental skills. So to prevent this incident right here, first of all, don't run into an intersection when it looks like it's a red light. Now, just like a lot of the videos that I watch, if it's outside the country, I don't know exactly the culture or the lighting system here. So if you can, let me know in the comments if this is a red light for this rider. I don't know, but it definitely looks like one. So remember, guys, if we're paying attention, we're not going to run into a red light. This is going to be a null situation, never have a problem. But if it is going to be a problem, let's say it's a green light, the guy ran a red light, there we go. What do? Well, you need to apply progressive brake pressure. You need to squeeze a little bit, get that weight transferred to that front tire, because once you have weight on that front tire, you get friction. When you get friction, you get traction. You need weight to cause friction, friction to cause traction. It's as simple as that. So once you apply a little bit of brake pressure, a little bit of weight goes to that front tire, it creates friction, which is going to create traction. Now you can apply more and more and more. It's going to create more friction, more traction, more and more and more until you're stopped. So that's why it's progressive brake pressure. It's not, I'm going to do it super slow and stop slowly. No, you need to get that weight. You need to preload that tire with some weight so that it has friction to stop. That's extremely important, and I want you guys to understand, and that's not what happened here. He slammed that brake. He went into brown stage, slammed it, and he dumped the bike. This is what a dumping of the bike looks like. Now, if you go further and you maybe watch the original video, which once again, I will have links to all that in the description on top of timestamps in the first comment, so you can skip between different videos if you want. So if you see that he doesn't have full gear, he's got no gloves, he's got sweatpants, he's not fully protected, he only has a helmet. So guys, remember that part of the Smart Rider system is acquiring and utilizing your personal protective equipment. Get full helmet, gloves, jacket, pants, and boots. You need to have this stuff just in case something fails, like your fundamental physical skills or your situational awareness. Hopefully it's going to mitigate some injuries so you can get back to work and you can get back with your day and not have a massive disruption to what you're doing. That was a pretty interesting close call, but there's probably something you guys didn't notice during this video, and that's what I'm going to be talking about a little bit here. So let's move forward just a little bit. So right here, he's doing a head check. He's going left, right, left, right. He's looking right. He sees the hazard. Boom, there's the hazard right away. Okay, now what's going on? It should be an orange stage because I'm in the middle of an intersection, so I should be prepped. I should have my hand all over that front brakes. I should have my hand over the clutch so I can remove power to that rear wheel, and then I could start utilizing progressive brake pressure if I absolutely have to. So he's going to see this guy coming. He's going to see this guy. Okay, definitely he's not stopping. Immediate red stage. He went over that line. He's not stopping. So now we need to move forward, and boom. He hit the brakes. Perfect job. Very good. She's going to keep flying through. And this is the thing that I was talking about. Nobody's probably paying attention to. So she's going to run into that person possibly. And we're going to move forward a little bit. So she's slamming the brakes. That person cut in front of her. So now not only do we have somebody cutting off motorcycles, we have this person getting cut off by the black car. Now, what's going on here? How this is just chaos, absolute chaos. But how can we organize this chaos? Well, let's go back just a little bit here. So we have this rider, and that's the only person I care about in this video because you guys are my crew, and I want to make sure this guy is paying attention. He's doing a good job. He's part of the Horde. He's doing a good job in World of Warcraft. So we're going to move forward just a little bit, and like I said, red stage, okay? Now let's pretend, let's flip this. Let's say this is the car that applied the brakes, and then we are the car as a motorcyclist. So let's say we get out of the situation. We move past the situation. Good, we did it, very close call. I'm going to look back. I'm going to flip this person off, right? I'm going to flip the person that's the motorcyclist. Remember, we're flipping everything. I'm going to flip them off because that's what typically people do. But we're not looking forward. And since we're not looking forward as, this right here, this car driver, let's say that's us as the motorcycle driver, we're not paying attention. We're looking back at the intersection, flipping off the motorcycle riders, and then we finally look forward, boom, we crash into this black vehicle. When I talk about, moving from one hazardous situation to the next, to the next, to the next, don't linger on the thing that you already passed, is exactly this right here. I don't want you looking back at the other motorists because there's other hazards ahead of us that we aren't looking at. And this is the perfect situation that I'm talking about right here. Yeah, they ran a red light. Yeah, all these different things, but let's utilize this good information, okay? So the motorcycle riders did everything they possibly could. They did great. They did progressive brake pressure. They got out of the situation. They're done. But this could easily be us as the car. Okay, so let's look forward. Let's find the next hazard that we need to evade and get around and keep doing it. Once we pass one, achievement unlocked, man. You guys did it. You did it. You did it. Move on to the next. 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 We need to keep our head in the game, okay? Very important. So this was a good information learning lesson just based on the fact that we need to pay attention after we get past a close call and get ready for the next one. So let's go ahead and move forward on this one. Once again, another intersection, looking left, looking right, looking left. Very good. Did his vision and everything. But remember, it's not just about looking left and right, looking left and right. Okay, everything's good. Well, what did you actually see when you did this? Okay, so a big red vehicle that is not stopping coming from my left should grab my immediate attention. I should already be in orange stage because I'm entering the intersection. So now I'm prepped and ready to apply the brakes if I have to. It's like, you know what? I'll slow down and stop almost in an intersection and then move on again. I have a bike. I can accelerate out of here if I absolutely have to, if people behind me are getting pissed. So I don't see him stopping, so why am I not stopping? This is the immediate portion of when he applied the brakes. You can see his hands. So right here, they're covering the brakes, getting ready. Is this enough total stopping distance? No, it's not. So he's going to apply the brakes and boom, crash into the car, and then he's going to roll over on the ground. It's going to be very painful. This is going to be that front end impact. So he's going to have some pelvis injuries. He's going to have some leg injuries, either bruising or broken bones, whatever it is that's going to happen. Skier's thumb. He's going to go up and over, so he might have some diaphragm or rib problems. He's going to have trouble breathing because of the rib or diaphragm problems. Maybe the wind's knocked out of him. All these different things. So this is once again why we wear full protective gear, which it looks like he did. So this is going to mitigate as much as it possibly can. So he's not going to have bad impacts to the shoulder, elbows, hips, knees, and then hopefully his back. He has a back protector, but he also has a backpack, and then he has a helmet. So he's got the gear that he needs. But this right here is the second point of view right here. So you see him hitting the bike and going up and over, and that's what I'm talking about. You see the impact right here? So he's going to land on his back, and that's why you have a back protector. Now, the backpack's going to absorb some of the impact, but once again, if you don't ride with a backpack with actual, comfy padding in there, if you have a bunch of, a notebook, a bunch of pencils, pens, maybe some sharp objects, imagine them going through your backpack into your body. So this is why you still should have a back protector, a level 2 back protector inside your motorcycle jacket. So he's going to land, and then he's going to roll around. Now it's his right shoulder, right hip, right knee. His left hand's going to smack into the ground. His head's going to hit the ground, and then now his right knee and his left knee are going to hit. So these are all impacts that can cause breakages of your body. You can snap a patella. REVZILLA. You can break your femur, you can break your tib fib that where it connects to your knee. I mean, you can have massive injuries, and I haven't even talked about your chest or any type of internal organs with all the shearing and then the brain trauma from a traumatic brain injury. All these different things I haven't even talked about, but here's the thing. How do we prevent that? How do we prevent that? We need to recognize intersections are hazardous, and they are hazardous until we exit the intersection, whether we're in the middle of it, entering, getting close to it, or even right after, and we go back into yellow stage. We need to recognize that this is a hazardous situation, and you need to be ready to jump into that red stage where you need to apply progressive emergency braking and emergency swerving. So this is where we need to start recognizing and making sure that we're not doing some stupid stuff. So guys, over here at the Firehouse, we do some amazing things. We make sure that we mentor other riders. We teach other riders utilizing the Smart Rider system. So guys, if you want to become part of the crew, or if you just want to hang out at the Firehouse, it's absolutely free. Click the links in the description, join the Discord, become a crew member, and watch me live Tuesdays and Thursdays when I hold a live class just for you, absolutely free. I want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to have a good time, and I want you guys to not catch the coronavirus, okay? Make sure you wash your hands. I'll see you guys later.